Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're doing something really special. We're unpacking the complex financial structures of community foundations, but we're doing it by zooming right in on the ground-level perspective of one really remarkable local leader. We're going to look at exactly how big-picture, macro philanthropy directly fuels our local heroes on the ground. Let's get into it.
So we're kicking things off with this incredibly striking high-detail watercolor of a Ronin. And the story behind this is actually deeply personal to me. It was painted by my father. Now, traditionally, a Ronin is a masterless samurai, right? But in this context, it beautifully captures the high-level discipline, the profound creativity, and just that unwavering dedication you need to enact real, lasting change in a community. It really takes a warrior spirit to fight for those who are overlooked. And that fiercely dedicated spirit, well, that perfectly transitions us into our main focus for today.
Because that exact disciplined, creative spirit is completely embodied by my father, Bert Martinez, who you can see here alongside my mother, Polly Martinez. They're working directly with at-risk youth. I really wanted to give him a humble spotlight today, because his role as the director of the Community Awareness Points Program, or CAPP for short, forms the absolute perfect anchor for us. Seriously, if you want to understand how macro-level foundation funding actually works, you have to look at how it drives true human transformation on the ground. Bert's work is literally the exact point where abstract philanthropy becomes a very real, tangible lifeline.
And a crucial part of all this is understanding the why behind the work. My father's motivation doesn't come from institutional accolades or looking at financial numbers on a spreadsheet. No, it comes from the day-to-day transformation of the 11 to 15-year-old kids he mentors. As he puts it, watching and participating in their transformation into competent, effective problem solvers is the most rewarding thing I've ever done. But that begs the question, how do you actually engineer that kind of transformation? Well, you need a solid system.
To make that transformation a reality, Bert's CAPP initiative uses a brilliantly structured four-step method. See, this isn't just about handing out resources. It's all about empowerment. The youth are taught this amazing philosophy of learn to learn and learn to teach. They get out there and join community programs, literally physically ladling out food from steaming kettles at the local mission. They work hard on improving their grades, and they acquire practical work skills. And in return for all of that, they earn critical points that translate into actual dollars to buy basic necessities, like school clothing and supplies. It's building their self-esteem through genuine, hard-earned accomplishment.
But here is where the macro level steps in. A highly effective, hands-on program like CAPP, it requires funding to even get off the ground. So how does a unique mobile home-based program like this get its start? It actually came down to the vital flexibility of the Community Foundation's unrestricted funds. Unrestricted funds are basically the most flexible philanthropic resources available. Because donors didn't tie this money to one rigid cause, the foundation was able to look at Bert's innovative approach, recognize its huge potential, and provide the critical seed money needed to initiate CAPP.
And I think this brilliantly illustrates a much broader concept from the Foundation's report, this beautiful idea that community generosity is a delicate tapestry. It runs so much deeper than what you or I might casually see through the lens of a camera. When you see kids volunteering at a soup kitchen, you're seeing the bright threads right on the surface. But beneath that, there's an entire loom of financial support holding all those threads securely in place.
To support vital threads like Bert and Polly's work, the Foundation acts as that loom, expertly managing this really complex tapestry of financial mechanisms. Let's break this down systematically. The Foundation's assets can generally be grouped into four main buckets. We've got unrestricted funds, donor-advised funds, field of interest funds, and operating endowment funds. And each one serves a very distinct strategic purpose to make sure the community's needs are met, both right now and decades into the future.
So another crucial thread in this loom is field of interest funds. These are great because they allow donors to target specific causes, things like education or assisting the elderly, without having to pick a single specific charity. It essentially gives the foundation the power to find the best local solutions on the ground. For instance, the Ham and Gribble Fund was established specifically to support educational advancement. And because of that specific fund structure, the foundation was able to award additional ongoing grant support to the Even Start CAPP program. It just goes to show how targeted funds find their way directly to the local heroes actually doing the work.
Rounding out our understanding of the foundation structure, we have donor-advised funds and operating endowment funds. Donor-advised funds are fascinating because they allow philanthropists to stay actively involved. They get to have a direct say and make recommendations on where their money goes year after year. Conversely, operating endowments, Well, they're kind of the unsung heroes of the foundation world. This is permanent capital invested specifically to pay the foundation's own operational expenses. It ensures that the institution itself has the permanence to keep its doors open and manage all these complex grants forever.
But here's the big takeaway. Whether it's the crucial initial seed money from unrestricted funds, the targeted, ongoing grants from field of interest funds, or the sheer institutional stability provided by operating endowments, all of these massive, multi-million-dollar financial structures exist entirely to fuel micro-level impacts. They exist to empower communities by funding self-sufficiency, teamwork, and personal accomplishment. They exist to nourish a child's self-esteem so they can break cycles of poverty.
The annual report appropriately titles its theme, Seeing the Complete Picture, and it's such a great reminder that every single line item, every abstract fund name, and every dollar figure eventually translates into real, breathing people. It translates into dedicated leaders like my parents, Bert and Polly, and the kids they mentor, standing shoulder to shoulder, serving food to the hungry. The macro finance is just the vehicle. The human impact is the destination.
As we wrap up and reflect on Bert's humble yet incredibly powerful spotlight, and of course, the intricate financial loom that makes his work possible, I want to leave you with a thought. The foundation provides the structure, but individuals provide the heart. So when you look beyond the lens of your own daily life, what unique and bright threads will you add to the delicate tapestry of your community? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep looking for the complete picture,